Yep, we're live.
We're live. Okay. They'll just. Good evening, everyone. Hi. Well, أول شيء Happy New Year. نعاد عليكم. For those who haven't seen since 2011. Welcome to Seeqnce. My name is Fadi. I am part of the Seeqnce team, which is also all around you, so you're very well surrounded. I don't really have a big, nice black T-shirt that says Seeqnce on, so that I see it. So anyway, so tonight we have a presentation as part of the Naked Startup series. Basically, the Naked Startup series is where we have an entrepreneur, in this case Cynthia, come on in and talk about the project that she's working on and the vision that she has for how to achieve business success through a project, a problem that she identified, a solution, or a way that she has found or that she believes is adequate to solving that problem, and how to attract a lot of users and achieve, again, business success. She will talk basically about how she started, what was her concept, what she's been doing so far, the challenges and the successes and the open questions that she has. And really the whole concept of the Naked Startup series is that there's a lot of discussion going on. And she will say what she's been working on and what she hopes to achieve. And we will open the floor very early on, and you'll be able to contribute a lot. And we really hope that you contribute and give your opinions about her proposed solution and projects. All right? So without further ado, I'm very happy to present StrawberryBlu.com, which is the brainchild of its founder, Cynthia Bu Jawdeh.
No. Okay, hi. I want to introduce myself as Fadi has introduced me. My name is Cynthia Bu Jawdeh, and I have a BS in Nutrition and Dietetics. Okay. I have a BS in Nutrition and Dietetics, and I'm finishing my master's degree in food technology. Why did I start with my educational background? Because since I was a child, I was raised on having I was surrounded by a food culture. I was always encountered with food experiences, and one of my passions was related to food. Food, cooking, food appreciation, etc. So that's why I entered my education as a nutrition in the field of nutrition and dietetics, and then I pursued my master's in food technology. All throughout my career, I was encountered with a lot of questions related to food. For example, I've set a bit of examples here. How much there's calories in Seeqnce Laban? She's pregnant, she's eating for 2, so she has to eat a lot. Honey is perfect for diabetes. I didn't eat anything today. I just ate a kakin and abu arab. A lot of misconceptions were raised in my all throughout the days of my career. So I started to compile those misconceptions and those questions until I saw that there's a problem. The problem is there was a lack of trustworthy and reliable information about our authentic foods. People had a lot of misconceptions that were inherited from our ancestors, from our grandmothers, and from our mothers. And whenever you ask a person, why did you did you ask a dietitian about it? Did you ask a professional about it, or anything? They either say, yes, we did go to a dietitian and we never revisited her again, or no, it costs a lot of money, or it costs a lot of time, and this is what out of the question. And when you ask them that, okay, you didn't go to a professional, did you search for an alternative sources of information? And the answer was, in relation to our Lebanese food, there's not a lot of information available, specifically on the internet. So the other problem was researching such information was costly and cost a lot of money and a lot of time. So what I concluded from this, people want instant and inexpensive, relevant and credible answers to all their questions. And from here, I wanted to build my own vision, which is creating a question and answer web or mobile application that allows users to ask real-time questions about food related to nutrition, dieting, wellness, cooking, and all the rest of the food questions, and get an instant qualified answer. This was my vision. That's why I contacted Samir Karam, the founder of Seeqnce, because in my field, I don't have a background in anything related to the media, to the business, or to anything about the web or the internet or anything about this field. So Seeqnce was the best way to go because they had the background. And from here, I insisted on Samir that I have this background, I have this passion, but I have a full-time job and I had a master's degree. So both are taking a lot of my time, yet I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to have something that I really like and I really enjoy. And that's why the perfect solution was that they suggested was to add a little bit of salt and pepper to my own personal blog that I used to have for my personal experiences, and to transform it into a social question and answer interactive kind of blog that answers questions about food through the means of social media. I succeeded in answering questions through the Facebook page, through a Facebook group, through Twitter, through the email, and through the web. That is the blog. I'm here going to show you some snapshots on Facebook. I had some really interesting yet weird questions, like nicotine in eggplant, alcohol, the special dietary benefits of our authentic foods such as pine seeds, some lifestyle questions, some specific foods such as crab, etc., losing weight, increasing weight, calories, organic, some trends, and some interesting questions about allergies, such as here you can see that she was talking about her dad and not about herself, that her dad had a gluten allergy that is part of celiac disease, and she did not know what to eat specifically in the Lebanese community. She did not know where to go and what to buy from our community. So I sent her a list of Lebanese products and Lebanese foods that she can eat, he can eat, and some alerts that, and then this question was then transformed into more detailed blog posts about tabbouleh and celiac, and I want you to keep that in mind for later blog. Through Twitter, I also answered questions about lifestyle, about fitness websites, about weird foods they ate. A lot of questions, and here, this was recently during the holidays, what to eat healthily during the holidays. And on the web, the more recurrent questions I used to get were always transformed into a more detailed blog post, such as the honey misconception and diabetes, how to prepare apricot jam, what's the misconception between the regular manoushi and the mar'ouk manoushi, benefits of pine seeds, passion fruit, and here's the post of the tabbouleh and the celiac disease, which was a hit. And more authentic posts, such as the awarma. I got a lot of questions about the awarma that was inherited from our grandmas, and it was always present in most of the Lebanese menus. And people did not know really what was awarma and what was the most harmful effect of it. So I tried to describe how it's made, and then from that to explain why it's harmful and why it's bad for health and all the rest of the details. Through emails, I got a lot of emails. People asked me they wanted to lose weight, they wanted to increase their weight. Some people were pregnant, some people had specific diseases, such as gastric diseases or heart problems, renal diseases, renal meaning the kidney diseases, But the most interesting part in the email is that I never thought I would get this trust of people through the internet with someone they did not know. They trusted StrawberryBlu, but in reality they did not know me. So I was pleased with that because they sent me all the details. I reached a point where I was having this question and answer conversation, this relationship with my viewers. And people sent me all the details, not only about their eating habits. They told me about their lifestyle, their moods, their good stuff, their bad stuff. Like, I had this relationship with them. So we became friends for a certain limit. The second success, or second thing, I was featured in the media and in other blogs. Before StrawberryBlu became 6 months of age, it was featured as the top 3 nutrition blogs in Lebanon, in Ragbag, in the Ragbag magazine. It was also featured on a TV show. Here, the interesting part was that they were interested in why does StrawberryBlu consult for free. So they were interested, they contacted me, and we had an interview. It was not related to StrawberryBlu, but what attracted them to StrawberryBlu was this basic concept. Other bloggers featured me in their blogs. That was the celiac post I posted on Tabbouleh that I mentioned before. This blog contained everything related to celiac disease. This was a mother who had a celiac disease child and wanted to increase the awareness in our Lebanese community about Lebanese food containing celiac disease, containing the gluten that affects the celiac disease. And here it was a success because she could not find any website or any platform on the internet that shows this specific information in relation to our authentic Lebanese foods. As for the frying with olive oil, this was also a hit because it was first written by a professional in the field, and it was featured in another blog where the blogger went and asked her professor in the Lebanese University if this was true. She questioned my post, and I was correct. And she wrote this post to say that StrawberryBlu really posts relevant and credible information. Lessons I learned. There's a lot of lessons I learned throughout the years of the couple of months of StrawberryBlu. At first, I was too scientific. I used to write on my own way, how I used to write in university. And then one of my colleagues at work came to me and told me, okay, Cynthia, you're great, you're perfect, you like what you're doing, but literally I cannot understand anything right. You're too scientific, so can you just try to accommodate and try to, because you're targeting people that not in the field and want to learn and want to get into this field. Writing in English. I don't know if writing in English was bad or good, but in some circumstances, writing in English attracted some people that are not from our region or from the Lebanese community. And when I write about our community, about our food, I write some specific words that are Lebanese, such as mlochi or whatever. So this at certain point of time made some conflict because I got a lot of emails telling me we don't understand what you're saying. Can you just rephrase what you're saying, or is this present in another country or whatever? So this was the second lesson I learned. Working alone. Working alone was part of it was good, part of it was bad. The good part is you always do the things your way, but in some situations, doing it your way is not the right way. So I hope I can, when StrawberryBlu steps further in the program, when I step through in this project, I can enlarge the team because I'm not a work alone person. I like to be in a team. So from there, working alone gets me to losing viewers. When I worked alone, I was loaded with work, I was loaded with studies. I had a hectic schedule. So when I get the questions from the viewers, I sometimes could not answer within the 72 hours that I set for them. So this led to losing some viewers, because if you're not, this will lose, it lost me some credibility. Like, you know, you're telling us, you're answering us within 72 hours and you're not doing it. So this is the fourth lesson I've learned. Successes, as you can see, I created trust. I have loyal viewers. I've attracted other professionals, and I gave, this was the basic thing I wanted to do, give instant credible answers for all the questions about food within our culture. This takes me to, I've done all those successes, I've learned a lot of lessons, but there was something missing. If I look for some figures about StrawberryBlu, StrawberryBlu is now more than 60. It has 140 likes on the Facebook page, it has 26 Twitter followers, a couple of questions asked per week, and viewers, despite they were 20 times greater than as I started, but I'm not talking about huge numbers. Those numbers are still not huge. There was something missing. There's a missing circle that StrawberryBlu lacks volume. From here, I set my future considerations and future plans. I wanted to push StrawberryBlu to the next level. I wanted to give it more focus. So as soon as I graduate from my master's degree, which will be in a couple of months, I want to work with something I really enjoy, and I want to make out of it some money. Because this is the target. I'm an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur works with something that they like, they have a passion for something, and this is what I want to do. I want to work with food, yet I want to make some money. Moving forward, how can I make this a profitable business? How to monetize it? This is the biggest challenge. I think this is the biggest challenge for me, and I had a lot of ideas in mind how to transform it into a profitable business. And I thought that the most feasible solution was to have a mobile application. A mobile application having those three features. A dynamic updates, automated question, and instant asking. If I want to start with the first feature, it contains the tip of the day. So every day I post on this mobile application a tip of the day. The tip can be related to nutritional health benefits of specific foods. For example, health benefits of kiwi, or health benefits of pine seeds, or any related, or any food. So nutritional health benefits of specific foods. The do's and the don'ts in relation to specific diseases. For example, if you have gastric diseases, or you have ulcer, or you have any specific disease, I can post one of the tip of the days would be the do and the don'ts for this specific disease, and so we can increase the awareness and the exposure within the community. Special remedies. For example, you have osteoporosis, and I can give you some specific tips on what's the perfect meal, or what's the perfect dish for osteoporosis that can increase the intake of calcium or vitamin D, or what's related to this specific disease. Healthy cooking tips. The thing is, a lot of websites here in Lebanon target the cooking aspect. They target how to cook Lebanese, and eating Lebanese, or cooking Lebanese, and they don't really go into the health cooking aspect. So here, for example, I can give some tips in relation to frying fish, or boiling fish, or okay. So I can give healthy cooking tips and healthy eating tips. For example, why do you increase the intake of fruits and vegetables? For what reason? And each day, I give a specific tip within those 5 topics. The second feature is having an automated system that is split into two: the preset questions and automated calculators. The preset questions are a set of questions that I've already compiled from my previous experiences through StrawberryBlu and through the blogging part, and that the user of the mobile application can just click on it and get directly the questions. The other automated thing was the automated calculators. Of course, you're quite familiar with the BMI calculations and the energy expenditure calculations. That is mostly found in most of the websites. Yet, what I want to add on this calculator thing is the authentic food calorie counting. That is, we in Lebanon and in the Arab world lack the calorie counting and the nutritional information about our own foods. All the information we have are Western diet. We get them from other countries and we adopt them here. So I hope I can compile a list of our own foods. And finally, the instant asking. Here, if you're in the supermarket, if you're a mother in the supermarket and you're purchasing some goods, and you're confused of what's best for your kids, you just click on the mobile application. You send me the picture of this product, and you ask me whatever you like, and then you have an instant answer within, like, for example, 5 minutes. Yet this feature requires money. So every question you ask is in relation to a specific amount of money. And those were the features I was thinking of for the mobile application. I was thinking of to build for reaching my vision in having an instant answering for all the questions within our community. Yet the question here lies, will it work? And here I want to ask you for your advice and for your feedback. And if you have questions and answers, thank you.
So guys, just to put things into perspective, the Naked Startup series helps people like Cynthia who are generally pre-launch or near launch to better refine their ideas and their startups so that when they do actually launch, they have something that their community is going to consume, their community is going to buy and use. So you guys here, we have a room of 25 people, 30 people. These 30 people are going to define in this session what kind of product Cynthia is going to build down the line. So your contributions today will most likely end up in her product. So fish okay? It's called Naked Startup because she's effectively naked in front of you, okay? And you can do whatever you want, okay, to get it to get the message through to her that this is what you would like to see in whatever product she ends up building. So feel free, yeah, metaphorically or not.
Metaphorically is what you meant.
Yeah, we already had a question at the front.
So when you start the mobile application, will you stop with the Twitter and Facebook and well, if you don't stop them, it's very easy for me to just use my BlackBerry or 3G and email you or tweet you the question without buying the mobile application or paying any money.
Yeah, but it has to be restricted, like, you know, when having a mobile application, having the service of the mobile application. But the blogging part is something different.
What would make me use the application rather than tweeting you?
Oh yeah, I have to consider that. Thank you.
I have a question. Why did you call it StrawberryBlu?
We have. No. Sorry,
why did you call it StrawberryBlu?
Why the? Okay.
One question at a time. Because the first one is also very interesting in the question.
Yeah, because she had the.
No, I have a backup for you because the application is the direct question plus a food picture, right? Which cannot be posted by email, so you won't be answering such things except generalities.
It can be a picture, it can be anything.
Yeah, but on your blog you would be asking generalities. Perhaps when you have a mobile application, you would be going specific with that specific customer or client. So I guess that would be.
So you would suggest to have a mobile application alone without like.
You just have to figure out what would make the user use the mobile application and pay money rather than just tweeting you or just using, because you already got pretty deep with your customers and emails. So I don't think the mobile applications make any step ahead.
Okay. Why did I choose StrawberryBlu?
Yeah.
Well, I was in the food science class. We were learning about genetically modified foods, and we were learning about the blue strawberry. That is that does exist. So I did my personal blog. It was blue strawberry. My favorite fruit is strawberry, and my color, the perfect color for me is blue. So it was the perfect combination, blue and strawberry, and it's really a cool name. And then when Summer helped me out with the salt and pepper thing, we transformed it into StrawberryBlu.
It's a good name, by the way, and you can sometimes spend months just thinking of the name. So I think she got the name right. The rest we're still working on.
It's okay.
If you want.
So your focus on the application is on authentic food and Arab food, and I was wondering, how does it apply this in your identity? So I see StrawberryBlu, but I don't think Lebanese food, I don't think Arab food, I don't think...
I thought of this thing when I was doing the presentation.
That's what...
I don't know if I make the mobile application like part of store. Like, it might help me out with this thing.
Even your concept of the blog is directed into the target audience, which is the local food, authentic food.
Yes.
So interested people will have to
connect.
Yeah, exactly. I saw your blog basically when you were posting on Facebook. I didn't consider it to be authentic. I saw the few. I didn't connect that it was specific to.
I didn't think of the name and the authentic thing.
Yeah,
first.
I think that can be fixed with a tagline.
Yeah,
you just need a tagline.
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah.
A couple of things. A, regarding the mobile app and the web. I mean, I don't think you're going to have a cannibalism problem, which is people who are basically using your mobile app will decide not to use it because you have a 72-hour limit there, and you might be offering other things on. Exactly. Number two, these are just points that are going around. Number two, regarding food, authentic food, what we refer to. Hey, just points, man. What we refer to as authentic food, we might think of it as a small amount of people, as a small market, but remember the immigrant stations around the world, if you want to call them, tend to be very big, because they tend to be like stations. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I would add on that. According to the statistics of the website, the most viewers are from the US, and mostly all my emails come from Lebanese people living abroad.
But here's the thing. The thing is, regarding the one that will probably generate you the most money, which is the one you're putting, the instant question. The two things that come up to mind is, how will you make instant money, right? So my guess is you're thinking somewhere around the lines of a premium number people could call, or something like that, because then you can charge their phones immediately. But either way, whatever the case may be, you're still stuck with the problem of you need a large number of people to handle a large number of calls, right? So how do you intend to do that? Because right now what seems to be your great edge is the fact that you, right, Cynthia, is dealing with the customers in the way you deal around with people, which is what is giving it the whole edge.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of the thing when I reach a place, I have hundreds of questions per week or per day. I cannot do it. I have to hire or have a bigger team of professionals, dietitians, food scientists, or even chefs or cooks or food producers in relation to what the questions are or what's the most asked questions. But I really don't have the perfect question to you because I never considered that, and I thank you for that.
Either. I think what he's trying to say is how can you make this scale better? For consumer products, generally you want to produce something that if 100 people use it or 100,000 use it, it's still the same cost or a marginally higher cost. What you're basically doing, you are increasing cost in a direct proportion to the increased number of questions. So your costs are going up as your revenues go up.
Okay.
So if you can find a way, potentially, yes or no, that's not necessary, to to keep your costs fixed as your revenues go up, then you can raise a lot more money, your value will increase, and so on and so forth. One part of that could involve getting the people who are asking the questions to answer questions. Okay. Just put it.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong in having a growing, your costs growing. There's a lot of businesses that work that way. But like Samer is saying, if you are able to scale better, then chances are you can do it with a smaller team and you can get better backing. If your whole idea centers around, I'm going to get a call center within the next 3 months and staff it with 100 people, you're going to need a lot of funding from the get-go. Right? So you cannot say maybe I'll get 100 and then go from there.
I have one question, because I know Cynthia, that's why I'm asking the question. You have one of the features of the application is you give instant calorie count. And mostly what you're going to be focusing on.
No, it's an automated system.
It's an automated system.
Yeah.
So my point, the automated system that you're actually counting on would be on the Lebanese food or the recipes done.
Yeah.
So what's your reference?
Well,
what's making more credential active?
Yeah, true. This is a problem, but all the calorie counting in the world, well, they don't have a reference. Like pizza, you have a lot of hundreds of recipes for pizza. Yet when you log on to a calorie counting system, you get a calorie plus or minus specific
You
calories.
have references to SA. This is one of the credential references.
Yeah, but you have to start from a place.
Yeah, so
like,
my point, you were doing this on your own, then you're gonna do this? So your reference would be you?
No, I have to see the recipes in the market. Like, what's the basic recipes we use? Like, for example, the mughrabiya. What's the basic recipe of mughrabiya? Plus or minus, each one of us do it on its own way, but you have the basic thing in it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, because basically, this would be very important, I mean, not as a Lebanese, even Lebanese living abroad, because all applications on mobile are all based on your SA or calorie count, like you said, but no one has, I'm trying to make it an edge for you or a cutting edge for you.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm asking about the reference, and what would you make it?
Yeah, well, in Lebanon, you know the field, you know everything about it. So we don't have anything credible. So if we can start with this, if we can start with this, and maybe later on we can make this credible thing, why not? With the help of such as dietitians and scientists.
So one idea. Others who are also waiting.
I just have an idea for what she said to help her.
Yeah, I know, but I mean it's
for everyone. What you could do is you could go to different villages of different sites and get the recipes there, how they do them differently. And then that would be customized for you.
Yeah, so I standardize the recipes myself.
لا, but if somebody, let's say from Shmail, asks you about the kibbeh, at least you would have the concept. But somebody from Jnoub asks you about the kibbeh, you would also have.
I just want to add on this. I work in a culinary consultant company. So, and the food technology part of my work includes a lot of recipe work. So I have a bit of information. This is why I added this part, because I have a bit of background about the recipes and all this field. So I hope I can integrate this with the nutritional part, with the food science part.
Good luck.
Thank you, Cynthia. And Judd, I think your message is very clear. I think your passion is very clear. And what I love about what you've presented is this idea of trust and that you already have a potential client base. So what the things I would ask are, first of all, is there a need amongst these people? Because these are the first people you're going to be selling to if it's something they're interested in. And I'd also like to see a model where you're not giving so much of your time away without receiving money for it. The last thing they should be getting is your time, and they should be paying for it. So what can you produce that is going to be cost effective for you and allow you to put your time elsewhere? So I think something along the lines of developing your database. Do you have, I don't know if you already have the information from these people, or before you ask their questions, they have to give you their information through some sort of opt-in, so at least you're developing something while you're giving for free. And the other thing is, what information do you already have in your head that you can start selling them to on a small scale, and then you can upsell them to something like an app where you're going to be asking for more money. So like some sort of ascension model, how you're already going to use the group you have and how you're going to collect information from them. So you're producing something there's already a need for. So I don't know if you've already thought about.
Well, as part of the automated thing that I talked about on the mobile, like for the preset questions and the database about the recipes and everything, I already started compiling a lot of questions, a lot of preset things already there in stock. I just need to utilize them. But the rest, I have to work on it. I still didn't give it much the focus I have to give it. And I'll keep them in mind for my future.
And you think an interesting variation on Adonna's question would be how many of the questions that were asked are redundant questions? So basically, 1,000 people ask questions. Okay, 500 of them are answers that can be answers that can be given through a previous answer that you've given. Yeah. Because creating an answer is a lot more time consuming than searching for an answer and pushing it out there.
Yeah, this is what I was saying, that all the recurrent questions, I've already transferred them into a blog post. And that was not put on the blog, were kept in my system, in my database. So I already have the recurrent questions that throughout those months I've opened StrawberryBlu, I have them. But of course there's a lot of more questions that people might ask, and the questions asked through this is by chance. Like someone clicks today and he thinks of asking this question, he just asked it. So it's not structured yet, and I hope I can,
I think the other thing is, what can you already sell to them that you don't have to develop immediately? Can you do one-on-one consultations? Can you do a membership? You already have all this.
I can have
there are very simple things that would be more cost-effective.
Well, the thing is, on one-on-one consultation, as a dietitian, you should not give a one-on-one consultation that is, just copy-paste. It should be personalized. That's why in a mobile application, having a full, consultation like I'm doing on the email would be really difficult, because you're not answering the question. You're asking. You're seeing a full profile, a history,
and
then
you're doing this via Skype. You can start selling them. Anything you can start doing immediately. You can cut back your full-time work so you can develop more fully into these.
Yeah.
It's something to consider. But I think that you already have so much knowledge and value you can give to people who already trust you, who are willing to buy from you.
Okay, so here's a question. Since we seem to be trying to make Cynthia some money, I'm pretty sure everyone here is going to get 10% of our company. Okay, so what can we charge for? Okay, I think maybe it would be interesting to ask ourselves that question, because I know for a fact that Cynthia is very bad at charging for things. I invited her once to a barbecue, and she got some very nice pork chops, and it was very, very good. She didn't charge for them, which was quite fortunate for me, quite unfortunate for her. So what can we charge for, be it in an app or another process? And I need the answers from you guys, as in what would you pay for? Don't think it's always a question of, I would buy this thing, and then the thing is presented to you, like, no, not really. I mean, I would have bought it, but I don't really want to buy it. So answer this on the premise of what would you pay for in an app, in a website, in a service, or in whatever. Basically, her company, her startup, okay, is offering things. What would you pay for that's related to nutrition, food, and food-related health stuff?
I think as well, it's not just what we would pay for, it's what the client base she already has would pay for. What would Lebanese
It's never been asked yet. So let's do this, and then we'll see what...
I would pay, for me, I know you answer this in 2 hours. Now, we're focusing on a mobile app, which I think is a great idea, because it can be quickly achieved. It's going to cost this much, it will be done in 3, 4, 5 months. Okay. If I were, I would pay for a question to which I can get a quick answer. Like I'm not talking 70 hours, I'm talking 1 hour maximum. Ideally 30 minutes, 20 minutes. This obviously poses the question of the scalability. If you have 500 of those in a while, you're making good money, but you're not answering anybody, and you're killing your assurance of your warranty, if you want. But for me, a question to which I would want to pay would have this element and the component of a quick answer. It has to be like that.
I would go one step further than Fadi.
So how much would you pay? Let's do this right. How much would you pay for 30 minutes instead of 72 hours?
Thing is, I don't really worry about food or losing weight. It's all the way around. I have to gain weight.
So you have to gain weight. That's also nutrition.
Yes.
How much would you pay for this?
To be honest, the problem with it is that information throughout, as time goes by, tends to lose more of its value because more and more of it gets online and it's available for free. So it's really maybe the personalized element that's there. So if you have people who have celiac disease or diabetes, like really specific, almost medical questions that you as a nutritionist can answer. If I am that person and I'm worried a lot about something I ate, or my kid just ate, I would pay $10 for that.
How much would you pay?
$10.
La, how much would you pay?
You won't.
You don't have any diseases.
No, I don't.
You won't.
Okay, so you wouldn't pay.
As I am right now?
Yeah. Okay.
It's zero. It's zero now.
Okay. How many would? Let's ask the audience. What would you individually, if you would use this app, pay? I need some real answers here.
I know what usually gets me with apps, and God knows I have something like 300 apps on my phone. The ones that get the most money from me are the subscription model apps. They're free or very cheap to buy, and then you get to a point where you want more information, but you can't get it without subscribing, and I end up subscribing, and I have probably something in the region of $50 worth of subscription in $2-3 portions across apps on my phone.
Is this monthly?
That's great.
Monthly.
What do you get in exchange for that?
I'm getting all sorts of stuff. I've got a thing that tracks what I do on my computer. I've got a game.
Tons of games.
Tons of games, but no, only a couple are subscription based. But I think it's an interesting model for you maybe for this because you can you establish your client base and it's not a huge upfront cost and it's a continuing income for you.
So what would you get? What would you
I would
get
pay.
in this kind of thing?
I know what would be useful. What would I pay for the most, honestly, is probably even more instant than 30 minutes because I know nothing about nutrition, but there are some times when I like two things on a menu the same. And I'd love to know, which one's healthier. I may as well go for the healthier option because it will satisfy me as much.
What's
and
the
for
threshold?
that, I'd easily pay probably something like $2 to $5 a month easily for that.
No, but $2 to $5 a month for how many questions?
I don't know,
Okay.
10.
What's your threshold on time?
Time, you're looking like 5-10 minutes because I'm sitting in front of a menu.
Okay.
Maybe live chat.
So 5 minutes. Hey, Cynthia, ما عندها شيء لا تعرف.
I would pay to be a part of your online community that gets preference for their questions answered. So for example, if you can ask a question online, anyone can read them, but only people who pay a monthly membership can actually ask a question. I would pay to be on your special list to have my question answered, even if I don't go the whole month without asking you a question. I would pay to have that preference.
Can you repeat that?
So if she asks us questions for free to anyone who posts.
Okay.
I'm saying that the only people she answers are her special list who pay her a monthly fee to have the privilege of having their questions answered. But anyone can view the questions and the answers, but not everyone will have that question answered. So she's creating this hierarchy of her special people. So who's going to pay to be one of Cynthia's special people?
It's a bit of a zero-sum game because at some point you run out of questions.
It's a selling technique.
Okay. So membership.
If people are paying and they're not asking, that's good for Cynthia, by the way. It's not good for the people, but it's good for Cynthia.
How many people pay to have services on demand that they don't actually use?
But they can ask her question for free on the website.
No, I'm saying that she changes that. She says, thank you so much for your support.
Let's start to pay.
Yeah. I'm offering a special offer now. I've had huge interest. It's increasingly costing me my time. I have a special offer now for all you who've been loyal to me. That for for $3 a month, the people who like you and trust you, they're not going to give you $3.
But you just lost that person. I think I have a variation to your idea, which is that you can use a community of people that are already on the system to help answer questions from the non-paying ones. So it's like collecting air miles. You have collected a big knowledge base, right? An FAQ if you want, an advanced FAQ. So people can actually read other people's questions and guide them, tell them you should check out this answer and this answer. Because an FAQ is hard to find. Sometimes you can't find the answer easily. And people can be bothered to search. So if others in the community can see that and push that, and if it's liked, if it's the right answer, they gain points. If they gain enough points, then they get a free consultation, or they get something, or like a free 1-month subscription, or something like that. So you don't do anything. They get to answer you. They get the FAQ gets used. The community is dynamic, and there's still people paying, because if you pay a subscription, you get immediate access to you. You see what I'm getting at? So maybe that's a right way of going about it.
Actually, Fanny, that might not. Here's the thing with that thing. First of all, you cannot have people answer, because one of your key points is that this is verifiable scientific data, right؟ يعني مش ستي اللي عم بترد إذا بتقولي لها بتقولي روحي كلي هاي البصلة ممتازة. لا. Okay, this is someone who actually went through the chemistry and knows this works or not. So whatever your community is, they cannot actually post answers.
No, they are guiding towards.
I know, but this of course brings down the theory of, should you take the time to look at every question, or do you give the community time to try and find the FAQ or whatever? So it starts going down the road of, how do you manage which questions do you answer, or which questions go to the community to answer, and how do you put them on the timeline? What I have as a suggestion for you, and it could be something that you can make money off, is the fact that 3/4 of your question have data that is useless, which is basically making up English sentences. Keywords, on the other hand, are what's important. Now you can start leveraging this today in the sense of asking all your community to write your questions in certain ways, like Twitter has that hashtag, so that later you can process this, find out those key things, and then because you know, you can say, okay, if he picks this and this, then we give him this answer, okay? And this leads down the road to the following. Your mobile app can have a certain set of tags, and people can put the question whatever they want, and in response, they get that automated answer, which is scientific, okay? Now, what you would tell people is, okay, you would pay maybe $1 or $2 to buy this app, okay? And this gives you 50 free tags, as many as you want. But if you want more tags, you just buy them off, and these are lifetime buys. So I buy an extra, for example, an extra 60 tags. I might use them this month, I might use them next month, I don't know. You can make it subscription-based, you can make it whatever you want, but the whole point is, you don't have a lot of people working on the back end. You just put your effort in the beginning, where you translate what you took in university into something that people can use. It's not going to be effective, but it's going to be close enough for people to pay $2 off. If I want to pay more and become healthier, that's why I go and pay you the big dollars, right? I take you as a dietitian and you go through the whole life cycle with me. But if I want something quick, this is quick. And this is what I would pay money for.
Sounds really complicated.
That's the startup right there.
Exactly.
Can I suggest something else?
Machine learning.
Sorry, yeah, slightly. Yes.
I paid for a nutritionist to make my diet program and for a consultation.
Yeah.
Now, the only part I couldn't have done without visiting her was the body mass analyzer thing.
Yeah.
But I would have paid for it. It was a phone consultation. I paid lots of money. It was a one-time thing. And it was one time for me. If I had a problem, it could have been several times. So you can do what a nutritionist is doing and what people are already paying for, $50 at a time, online or over the phone.
Yeah, but the basic thing in my vision was to have the instant thing with the least amount of money, with the least cost. Because what you're saying is that, okay, they want to have something instant, but they also want the thing in less cost. Like, they don't want to go to the dietitian and pay $50 every time they want to answer a question.
Just a question. You would pay $50?
I did.
Online?
Yeah, but how many times
for a phone consultation.
Yeah, but the result was a plan
Okay.
5 pages of food review.
Okay, so you paid $50 online or on the phone, okay? And you got, what did you get out of this? A plan. So basically a standardized plan that tells you what to do.
Personalized.
Yeah, but a standard personalized plan, as in,
If you want.
it's the same structure, she just fills in what you need.
Okay.
Okay. So, you think there's a market for this? Enta, you think there's a market for this? What if you could get this done through, if you could automate this to the point where not only do you get the plan, but your app or whatever helps you follow that plan? Meaning that this plan says you're supposed to eat 20 things, okay? Every day you go into the app and you're like, okay, I ate this and this, and I ate that and that, and you can keep track. And potentially, by keeping track on a daily basis, you can pay extra to have your dietitian or nutritionist tell you.
You can take pictures of your food and submit it.
So would this be attractive to you? So we remove the human element, so it's done potentially online or via the phone, but maybe online. But you add value by creating that follow-up through the automated system, through the app.
I'm not sure, because for me, I'm not a cook. This is why I needed a nutritionist. That's why.
No, I mean, would you be okay with doing that via a form as opposed to a phone call?
I'd rather have a phone call.
You'd rather
It's
have
much more
So
critical.
to have this
Okay.
personal. So did you do it once or?
I did it once, and if I still had that problem, I'd be calling again.
I think there's another potential source of income that hasn't been considered yet, which is, and I was thinking along the lines of Samir, which is tracking diet, and this is something dietitians might be willing to pay for, in the sense that they'd be able to get a report, to generate a report before the follow-up visit of their client of their eating habits. So that's one thing, and then another thing is you get that data. So that data is probably worth something to food companies, to food distribution companies, and things like that, like eating habits of the Lebanese community in this country and that country, and Lebanon itself.
If you keep on doing the same thing you're doing on your blog now, but put it on an app, on a phone, you can have an archive. Erase, for example, things that are older than say a week or so, articles and interesting things that, informative things, or you wrote on your blog and were available to everybody. If you archive them and sell the access to the archive, as ما بعرف مثل هيدا thing تبع تابولي أو the articles do like newspapers do. Make them pay to get access to your archives.
I would.
They know.
I would pay for cookbooks, just like an ebook cookbook, like $5 for 20 gluten-free recipes of my favorite Lebanese food.
To focus on something, I don't want to make it fully cooking because we already have a lot of websites related to cooking in Lebanon and the region. I want to shift. To move a step further from this and make it as healthy cooking and healthy education.
Whatever your article is, it can be sold or archived and sold.
Actually, what I really liked is your calorie counter for authentic food. I know you can't find this.
Yeah.
So I would personally pay for this part of your application. But I have an idea. So do you have like if you don't have a database for all these food, people can pay مثلا ما بعرف $50 for مثلا I want the calorie count for this specific food. So you can create your database along the way, and people who are really interested, like when I'm on a diet, like when I see food مثلا ملوخية, I don't understand how you can find the calorie count for this. So basically, I would pay $50 مثلا if I'm on a diet. I'm already investing in something for me. I would pay this amount for مثلا the calorie count for this.
بس حنان
just a quick thought. Based on what you said and based on two other things. The first is that people hate to eat, especially when it's on the application or something. So, and based on that, when people ask for information about food, they ask about if it's healthy. if it makes them gain or lose weight, and if it's quick to prepare that food or not. So based on that, maybe we can find a way to scale them, put them on a scale to rate them. So we rate them based on these 4 scales. So it does look at Ruhiye, it's healthy, it makes you lose weight, it is nutritious because it has that, and it needs 30 minutes to prepare. So this is information I would pay for, and you can, if you want to know more why it has a high nutritional value, you can just press on that 80 over 100 and you can get what's the ingredients.
So here's the question: if you could, based on your argument, if you got the rating for free, so this is a cool, you download the app, you pay $1 for it or $5 for it, and it rates things for you, and you can eventually submit something that's not rated and it will be rated. But if you want more details about it, like how many calories are in this, what a good recipe would be, then you would pay for that. Would this be appealing to you?
Definitely.
Okay.
So you pay twice?
Sorry? You pay for the app to access the data that is the rating, which is generic data.
People would do that, would pay for it twice.
No, because you're paying a one-time fee to access data that is continuously being updated. But you're paying more. You're paying more money to get specific data that requires more.
Yeah, but I mean on mobile phones, you either get the application for free and pay inside when you want an extra feature, or you pay for the application on mobile and everything inside is free.
Michelle?
I got, actually, the ones that got most money out of me and that still do are the ones where, regardless of whether I paid a tiny amount or not at the start, the in-app payments is where they get them.
Many of the ones you have subscriptions in have upfront payments?
Most of them are free, but some of them do. Yes. But I mean, the free ones are mostly magazines and things like that, like I have magazine subscriptions.
Yeah.
So it's normal because the app's used.
What I thought about is breaking it differently. And I think the people who are going to be more dedicated are the people who have diseases or have special cases, like, for example, being vegan or being. So why not have in your database sections? For example, if you have diabetes, you have this kind of information. Yeah, you can access this kind of item. Inside you can have special menus every day that are updated. Or so if I have this kind of problem, I have this application and I have to subscribe. I have just one question once a month. I always have to follow a certain regime and food. So, right.
And building on that, I think your competitive edge is that you do a healthy version of your favorite, your grandmother's favorite recipe, or the gluten-free version, or the vegan version. So you're taking what people already like and love, and are adapting it for something as special to you.
Yeah, you got my point. This is my target.
At the end of the presentation, you mentioned that you want to put pay per question. I think it's very, very bad to pay per question because very few people would actually have questions that will pay money to get an answer. You can just Google it, or if you really want to pay, you just call a professional. Paying an application to get, I don't know.
Every time you call a professional, it costs you $50, but every question costs you $1.
But you would feel safe when you're calling a professional. At least you know that he's a professional, not typing on an application.
Depends how you're looking at the application. If you're looking at it as an application or looking at the person behind that application.
Especially when someone was talking about the automated system, I think you're losing the edge because everything about your website is personalized. That's the beauty and that's the competitive advantage. If it turns automated.
I guess what your client like about your blog is that it's personal. Like,
exactly.
They like it for free, and you gave up something very valuable for free. I don't know how you can take that. Until you want to, I understand, and you can't answer everyone and for free. Plus, if you want to charge, you can't answer everyone. But what I think the problem is that to shift to a more payable, profitable thing, you have to remove the personalized issue, and you have to check your clients how.
And our advantage in this scenario is that she doesn't have 100 million clients that she has to
Yeah,
convince
exactly.
to pay. So I think we should focus on the fact that she has less than 0.001% of her target market. Would the rest of the 99% be interested? I don't know, this is where you guys are giving insight, but again, it is always nice, as we are at Seeqnce. In 2011, if you came to this event, okay, if you came to one of our events, it was for free, okay? This time you came, you paid 5,000, okay? Is this event worth 5,000 or not? Okay? If you don't think it's worth 5,000, you shouldn't be here. Okay? Effectively, exactly. So effectively, what you're creating is a change in culture and attitude that we have in the Arab world, that everything has to come to me for free, even if it's great. The stuff that she's answered, some of the answers some of the questions she's responded to are worth over $50. Okay, so that person may or may not have appreciated, and if they did appreciate, okay, I don't see any more cash in her account. Okay? And this means that she effectively cannot sustain this. So she helped that one person, she helped 100, but at some point it's going to stop. So we have to find a way for her to charge, and personalizing down to the bone, okay, is not necessarily a realistic way, because remember we discussed at some point how to scale. Okay? I don't know where that was. Okay. Yeah. So if we can't scale, okay, she can't do this. So some things can appear personal. Okay? Some things that maybe the feeling that if I paid $1 I could access Cynthia, okay, this would be a personal feeling. They may never feel the need to pay that $1. So they have access to a lot of information for free. But when they feel that personal touch, okay, they know that it's the difference between having a machine answer them and having a human being answer them. And that's where we need to get in at least this conversation, because otherwise we're going to be like, Cynthia, روح على البيت, okay, عادي عن أهلك for the rest of your life, and answer these things for free. Okay.
I think it's important to build a healthy and active community, and that would push people to actually buy the application, not to buy things within the application, but buy the application itself. And to build such a thing, maybe you should encourage people to be active and reward them by being more active on the application itself, and build a community. Maybe the more active they are, the more they rate on things or comment, they will have access, for example, per month to a one-on-one meeting with you, or a consultation for free, like video or maybe by email. Like, this will give them a priority, and people would want to become part of this community and the only way would be through that application.
Okay, a couple of things. Number one, if it becomes too personal, it's now a consultation, right? And this becomes a service, not a product, okay? If it becomes a service, not a product, you go for a lot of money per one, because you cannot serve everyone, right? And it is no longer a consumer thing. We sell to the masses. The more we sell to the masses, i.e. the price of one entry is lower, it has to be more and more automated. That doesn't mean it cannot have some personal touches, but it will still have to have some feel of being automated, okay? So this is very, very important, and you need to know about that. The second thing, and this actually comes on this side of the board, because that's where we're having the charge for. If you look at this, and you start looking at it, you're going to have tons of ideas, and you're going to want to do them all. The reality of the situation is, if you try to do that, your odds are good you will not succeed, okay? That's what we call feature creep, okay? You need to decide what you're going to be doing, and just build the minimum set of those, and then not let us, because we are not the people who are asking you, we are not the people who, maybe some of us are here, but in general, we are not the people who with diseases who might be willing to pay $100 for the right consultation, right? Those people will drive you and say, okay, we would love if you would give us this product. If you have 100 people who will pay you $500 a month to get the right answer for a disease, who wants $1 million? Just get those $500 for 100 people, and you'll be a happy person. $50,000 a month is good. Not great, but not
enough for my lifestyle.
I know, not for you, but maybe for Cynthia it would be good, right? So that would be still cool. So let those people drive your decisions, because those people have very specific needs, and they probably pay through the nose to live through those.
Just one sanity check on what Malcolm said. if you're paying $500 and you make a mistake, you're much more likely to be sued than if you're paying $1. So the more complex the relationship is, the more it becomes a liability. So
especially that our science is social human.
Absolutely, and that's why you have to value.
From the Ministry of Public Health.
And that's why you have to value, right? You have to value things. You can, for example, if someone is highly allergic to fish and you tell them, oh, go eat sushi and they die, yeah, you're probably going to end up in jail. So.
I think I'm a big fan of the ascension model for selling. Does everyone know what the ascension model is?
People are shaking their head behind you. So.
Can I?
You can draw on this one.
Because I think this might be useful if we're talking about increasing sales figures. So you have a sales funnel. This is you. So this is where you want to capture the most people, and this is. Do you have another one?
No, it doesn't work.
No.
Do
I have to go to another room? Give me a second.
Anyway, this is where you have. This is where you're capturing the most people, right? This is where you have your $3.
No way.
This is where you have your $3 opt-in. This is where they pay $3 a month. They get to ask their special questions. This is where you take it to another level. So at this level, perhaps you could have, they get this, and let's say this is $20 a month. So do you see how this is like a funnel? Everyone knows a funnel. So this is, you have the most people. So maybe you have 50 clients here paying $3 a month just to have their generic questions answered. Here you have, maybe your conversion rate, you're going to, let's say 20, you have a 50% conversion rate. They're paying $20 a month. They're getting their questions answered. They're getting their questions answered, and they're doing something. You're sending them like a monthly newsletter, and you have like a weekly online webinar where they can log in and ask their questions and have a discussion in person. And here you're going up. Maybe this is your. Let's be a little bit more ambitious. You can go for 100, and maybe you have 10 people here who they're your clients for maybe a 6 to 12 month period. Yani, I know these figures look large to us, but if you have people who are in the US and they're your clientele, they're not just paying for your services, they're paying for you, they're paying for your character, they're paying for the authenticity, you bring the connection, you give them to Lebanon or whatever. So you're looking for something, the sales theory is that if people are more likely to buy from you if they've already bought from you. So you give them a no-brainer offer where it's like, duh, of course, I've been following you for 6 months, of course I'm going to give you $3. And periodically you give them a special offer where you take more clients in. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's my...
So something... Another scientific check. This works generally for services. It's a little more difficult to sell for products.
What she's doing though is whatever she's offering in here, she's documenting so that it becomes automated. So if she offers a weekly webinar, she records it, she packages it for later down the track where she has a product that she's just selling or repackaging for them. So initially there's work.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not negating your model. I'm just simply saying you are going down a services model. Effectively, you are building. She's building a company that is services based around nutrition and nutrition information, where she is having these sessions with people, she's inviting them for class. She's just doing what she could do one-on-one, but with larger masses using technology.
And she's compiling it, so it becomes a product in and of itself after she's done the initial work.
But that is when you go down the services model, generally it's extremely difficult to go back into the product model. We have the founder of the company, the largest open source consultancy in the world, who's Lebanese. He does services and he charges for the day of his consultant $3,000. Okay, he makes a lot of money off of his consultants. I asked him, why don't you take 5 of these consultants and get them to build some products? Okay, and if he has what 150 employees, 5 of that is less than 5%. Okay, and these guys could come up potentially with products that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars because they are really good at what they do. He told me I can't even think about that because the whole structure that I built to get this consulting business going is there. Okay, and changing a mindset to be able to develop products is here. So I'm effectively creating a new company altogether.
I agree, and I think he can do both. And I think this is a good immediate thing that Cynthia can do, that you can do, to develop the content for what will become the web application. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to ask about the email conversation. Is it usually question and answer, or do you have a conversation with the person like 4, 5, 6? Okay, I think the person you're having an email conversation with would pay for the second and third and fourth reply. I think personally, if I ask you a question and I know that you know the answer, but you want money for it, I think I would pay $20 or $30 for you to reply with me. You got it.
Yeah, I think I can see why you would want to stay away from the service model, but you happen to have an audience that would be very prone to going for services. So one way of doing it is maybe also having as one of the features, and then you have to talk about much more about feature creep, is basically a sort of referral system for services where you don't necessarily do it, but you have a panel of nutritionists that they can select and they can consult through the app. And I mean, taking legal services, I'm a lawyer in my spare time, if you like, and what's happening all over the world, except for Lebanon now, is you've got a lot of places, you've got a lot of websites where you can consult a lawyer by the minute, whereas it's been like centuries traditionally, you pay by the hour and you pay quite a lot. You now pay by the minute for like little questions here and there. So if the legal profession can do it, I'm pretty sure anyone can. And you could do that through, basically they buy a bunch of credits for, let's say, 200 minutes, and they get to spend that with nutritionists that you've pre-selected, and you get part of that, and the nutritionist gets part of it.
Yeah.
So you're more of a product in a sense, and that you're just connecting, not actually giving the advice.
You guys should get into the mind by the second, since lawyers are getting so expensive. And they can't breathe in those seconds. It's like, I need an answer with no breath.
Our hello is usually 5 minutes, because you got to break even.
I think the biggest challenge here is to provoke the people just to move from one step to another, which is the first step is just wanting to know about things, and to the stage where they took this as a lifestyle, or they really want to take this diet because they know they need it. So what I propose is we need to do something to provoke them, show them why they need your information, or why they need to be healthy, or why they need to lose weight for free, and then when you get them into that, you can charge them later. So I think, I'm not sure if you know the Healthy Skeptic blog. Okay, it's...
the two dietitians?
I'm not sure if there are two, I know one of them.
Oh, okay.
So, but it so challenges our the wrong concepts about food and nutrition, and this is why I got attracted to it. And now I'm ready to pay for extra consultations at that blog.
Can I ask something? You said that the service into product model is hard, but product into service, is it?
Everything is difficult because you're effectively changing. It's like riding a train and riding a car. It's a totally different experience.
Well, I'm saying if she creates an app that is sold but advertises her services, is it possible? Like if she creates the calorie counters, and if you want more information, more specialized, more personalized, you can go into...
I have a question for you. How difficult was it to build your app during that weekend? I think that's your answer.
And you're saying to build the calorie thing that might take more than 2-3 years.
I know
so,
the database.
But in answer specifically to what Rafa is asking, from what companies do who have good budget, it's still a services company. That's just a marketing gimmick. Okay. So if I build an app that's free, that I give to people so that they buy my services, I'm not a products company. I'm still a services company. I just went and hired someone who did a marketing campaign that involved the development of an app. That's a very big difference, right? An app, a product company requires certain divisions inside of it that are tailored to handling that product, whether it's maintenance, support, PR, marketing, etc. A services company has totally different priorities. Okay, so that's, in that sense, it's very
a lot of what we see up here is actually very interesting because the line between product and services in this, in what we're discussing, is pretty fine. Okay, she can go down the route of just creating an app that has a text entry form. Okay, you buy the app for free, and every time you want to ask a question, you're effectively paying for the consultation. Okay, that effectively becomes a one-on-one with the client. It's a consultation. It's a services. It's a services startup with a product that allows you to make these, to ask these questions. Or she can go down the process of working towards automation, okay? Because a lot of the questions, I'm looking at the 80%. I'm looking at, not necessarily the 80%, I'm looking at if we have 100 questions asked. Okay.
And we found one. Okay, I believe this works.
Well, this all works.
So, if every 100 questions asked, okay, there are 30 to 40 of them, okay, that effectively can be more or less automated, or can be answered in the click of a button. Okay, you're already looking at the 30 to 40%. Okay, of your target audience that you can deal with a 1% effort. Okay. The rest, the 60 to 70%, okay, may be very interesting, but what is the effort? And that's where you see whether is it going to be 100%, is it going to be 50%. That ratio there is what's going to determine whether or not you build a product or service. A lot of the nutrition, from what I've seen, is everybody likes to ask things today, even though there's Google. Okay, and with things related to our health, we still want to ask, even though the answer is going to still be the same fucking answer you find.
People apparently don't know how to search on Google.
It's not just that, because at one point we had no information, then we had some information, now we have too much information. Okay, so if effectively what Cynthia is doing is qualifying that answer, okay, just stamping it, this is approved by Cynthia. Okay, you can make a TV show approved by Cynthia. Okay. But then effectively, they're not paying her for her consultation, they're paying her for her seal of approval.
A rubber stamp.
A rubber stamp. And the rubber stamp is a pretty cheap thing to create. Okay. So this is what we're trying to get to. Potentially, this may not exist. I don't know the industry well enough. I'm like Fadi, I'm just born beautiful. But it's a sequence thing. But what really matters is there a market that you can cater to, where a considerable amount of people can be onboarded for a very, very, very little effort? If yes, the product round may be interesting, because if it fails, you will have had fun, okay, you can get employed, you can maybe go back into the consultation services industry, but if it succeeds, you'll make a lot of money and never have to work again in your life. Okay? If you go down the services route, it is continuous maintenance. And that's when when you see a lawyer shake his head, it's generally...
I do agree with that.
So Michelle shakes his head.
So I think, I think as long as there are questions, we'll keep the floor open. But I think what's interesting here is that there are lots of things up here that can be monetized on the product level, and the service level also, as well, is very relevant here. I think the most encouraging thing about this exercise is, one, I think we all agree that Cynthia should give this a shot. Okay, she is graduating soon, so she no longer has excuses. Okay? And she isn't happy at her work, so she's also no longer has excuses to leave her work. Okay?
That's the best excuse for her to do.
Exactly. So I think this all comes down to the fact that once she does make that plunge, okay, you guys should be responsible for that decision. Okay? So make sure you make it easier for her to make that.
I would buy the
Could you send us your presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks. Because we
write your email so that they
we actually, Sandra, we post this
The purple one.
Oh yeah, we are posting it.
We do
But yes,
actually
you're right.
post all of these full hour video with her talking and all our discussion online, and then you will see that on our blog. We will send the links and Facebook message as well.
I think,
Yes, Seeqnce.
Yes,
the red one?
There's a purple one that works. I know I went and no. Wait, maybe this one.
Purple?
Yeah. No, try that one.
Okay.
Yes.
You should throw them out.
Keep this with you. Doesn't work.
StrawberryBlu.com.
Yeah.
blue.me.com. At Twitter, come in at StrawberryBlu.
I think Cynthia, what you were saying about Cynthia's rubber stamp, I think this is something that you should capitalize on, your personality as the emerging expert of what you're so passionate about, the health value of traditional foods and the rest of it, and look at products you can develop around that brand. To start promoting that and yourself as the expert in that area. So like look at the models from like famous chefs or what they've done around their brand and their image, and get ideas of things that you can also offer in that regard.
I want to ask, why did you dismiss the recipes completely? Because for me it sounded like a good idea. At least I would pay a monthly subscription to what to eat each day.
No, I didn't remove it completely, but I don't want to make it targeting just recipes. If I want to target recipes, I will target the health part of the recipes, and not just sharing the authentic recipes we have, because this is already have been made and they're doing great and they're successful with it.
Cynthia.
Do you have Lebanese or Arabic culture food recipes?
We have enough applications about Cook Lebanese and websites about Cook Lebanese. Yeah.
There's so many applications for Lebanese recipes. It's depressing.
That's why I didn't want to go into that.
And books. And TV shows.
And every mother has her own recipe.
And the editions that
أنا تبعي أطيب. بعدين ملوخية اللبنانية غير عن الملوخية المصرية.
Exactly my point. No, there are so many, but yet when someone does it in a special way, like I know the هيدي على نار خفيفة على MTV, it's so popular. Exactly.
But
it's a TV show.
But the problem is people's things are different. And let me tell you something, it's very different. أنا أمي بتعمل تبولة بطريقة وأختها يعني هني تعلموا زي البيت بتعملها بطريقة ثانية، أنا ما باكل بس دوق اللقمة بقول لها إنه شو خيرتي أنت عملت التبولة دغري يعني حتى لو كانوا اثنيناتهم بالمطبخ.
بدنا taste test.
The version of a delicious healthy ملوخية, Lebanese ملوخية.
Maybe for sick people, but it would be good.
Yeah.
Specific food for people that are diabetic, specific food for people that have X disease, Y disease, daily.
Instead of going into recipes, if you can have, for example, I have a certain mobile disease. For example, the charts, our blood tests, what we call them. So you would know, for example, don't consume أكثر من هالقد percentage of this kind of, and بيصيروا standardized, and it's very easy. Instead of going into each and every.
Yeah, but this I get back to the thing of our work. We cannot strictly do that. Like, okay, we can for some points standardize the things, but when it comes to diseased people, we cannot standardize.
That, for example, if I do the data entry from my part as a consumer, بحط الcharts تبعي, and then you would have worded different numbers, and you would know how to deal with those. I know. For example, if I would want to search for mobile, anything online.
So you're suggesting to put ranges and
exactly
this range.
I know everything needs to be tailored, and even if I find the information, I have to go and search furthermore. If I'm a girl weighing this much,
you know what I mean? It's like we can, more of it can be done.
Any other questions?
Good luck.
طيب يلا
Is Lebanon Haram good for digestion?
Thank you very much, everyone, for being at this Seeqnce presentation. You're more than welcome to keep asking questions afterwards. You need to watch me wrap up, right?
Basically, and to lock the door.
Okay.
There are reasons why I'm locking the door. But
just remember, Seeqnce is an accelerator for internet startups, but you also have this space that you can work in during the day. You can work in the day, at night, there are a lot of plans. Just check out our website, seeqnce.com, all the information is there. Or just
Make sure everyone gets at least one.
And by the way, can you give a nice applause for
These are marshmallow, chocolate, what?
Come on.
By the way, Cynthia is a great food scientist and nutritionist, but she is, I guarantee she's not the healthiest of...
How many calories in the
food makers?
chocolate?
And little pork chops. It was a guaranteed heart attack. That's clear.
now you can leave if you're done.
نطرته من أول هلا